Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. If we go back to 2020, there was hardly anyone working on humanoid robots, and AI systems were some nice tools. But then Tesla said they would start working on humanoid robots. Most people laughed at the idea, but no one is really laughing anymore, as Tesla lit a fuse on the humanoid robot race that is happening so fast it's hard to even keep up. Tesla is one of the leaders in this race that will push the limits of what kind of valuation a company can even have. So if you think that the last 5 years of progress in AI and robotics has been very fast and blown your mind, well, the last 5 years lit the fuse, but the next 5 years they might just reshape what it means to be human. So let me show you what kind of valuation Tesla's Optimus robot could bring in just in the next 5 years, because things are about to get nutty. So let's dive right in. So Tesla Boomer Mama wrote on X, this may be the moment when Tesla's factory building skills must become a product with national importance. So what she's referring to is, of course, getting factories up and running as fast as possible in the US with all the trade wars. But Elon replied 100%, the Tesla factory, especially our next-gen Cybercab line, is the product. Yes, exactly. That, autonomy, and Optimus are what matters. Yes, people are worried about a little drop in sales because of the refresh Model Y, and some people have even been talking about how a $700 billion valuation for Tesla is overvalued. But I think people forget what is happening and how fast it's happening. Because let's just forget the Cybercab and the insane production method that will make Tesla completely uncatchable by anyone else in the industry. But let's just look at Tesla's humanoid robot that Tesla is hiring for right now and aiming for thousands of robots being produced in 2025, and then ramp up sharply after that. Because this single product has come along faster than anything else and will bring a valuation like nothing we have ever seen before. And if you think there will not be the demand for 1 million robots, I think you forget about the population collapse and the projected 8 million job gaps in just manufacturing that is expected by 2030, as noted in the 2018 Deloitte and the Manufacturing Institute study, which Optimus could address. So we are going to need labor in the near future, and Optimus could be used in sectors like manufacturing, agriculture, and healthcare, supported by data such as the ILOE's estimate of 60 million new agriculture jobs and the WEF's forecast of 269 million new workers required for the aging population. So the demand for labor or humanoid robots is going to be basically endless. So that is really not the problem. And if you think it will not be ready by 2030 to do all of this, I think you're forgetting the progress we have seen just in the last 5 years and are seeing now with both robotics and AI. Because over the past 5 years, from 2020 to 2025, artificial intelligence has shot forward like a rocket breaking orbit. Back in 2020, AI was impressive but limited, like ChatGPT 3 stumbling through language tests at 52% or coding simple scripts at 31%. Fast forward to today and the numbers are jaw-dropping. Computational power has surged 100-fold, fueling models that ace 90% of college-level exams and write software rivaling human engineers. A 100-fold in 5 years. Please try to let that one sink in, because we humans are bad at understanding exponential growth, but this is faster. If we say 2020 is 1 and then make an exponential growth every year, so seeing a doubling in flops every year, but that would only leave us with 32-fold in 5 years. Compute has increased 100-fold, so it has increased 3 times faster than normal exponential growth. And research papers have tripled. Investment have soared past $300 billion a year. And AIs are in 70% of big business today, up from 37% in 2020. It's not just stats, it's real. Robots are dancing, chatbot reasoning, and your phone predict your next move before you do. In 5 years, AI's gone from a clever tool to a near human thinker. Now, let's peer 5 years ahead to 2030. If this pace holds, and it might even speed up as AI gets much more intelligent and can help us speed up the progress, AI could redefine everything. Picture this: compute power jumps another 100-fold, driving systems that don't just mimic humans but outthink us, scoring near perfect on any test we throw their way. Language model could hit 98% fluency, reasoning puzzles 90%, and coding? Entire ecosystems can be built from a single prompt. We could see AI that learns anything instantly, like AGI Lit, or maybe even full artificial general intelligence, matching humans across every domain. By 2030, AI won't just be our tools. It could be running our world smarter, faster, and everywhere. The last 5 years lit the fuse. The next 5, they might just reshape what it means to be human. And robots like Tesla's Optimus might outpace human labor, adding trillions to economies while sparking debate on work itself. So I don't think demand will be a problem, as it will basically be endless, as we are going to need help in the near future with the collapsing population. So demand is not an issue. But will AI and robotics slow down? Well, we are right now in kind of a cold war in AI. The US do not want China to run away with the trophy and vice versa. And we are seeing that AI system might be close in the race in US and China, but robots are being mass produced in China and drones are all dominated by China. So even though we might see some bottleneck in economics, I don't think either China or the US is going to back down, but back up their AI and robotics companies. They do not want to be left behind. The limiting factor could very well become the chips or the electricity, as Elon has pointed out. But that could also force companies to think in a different way to make their AI smarter by being more efficient with their training and power consumption, and not just brutal force of GPUs. So even though we might see a bottleneck in chips, it might force a new, more efficient way of training to compensate for the lack of chips. So we might not see a slowdown, as no country right now wants to be left behind. So if the demand is going to be there, and we can look back less than 3 years and Tesla didn't even have a robot, and things are about to speed up, I think people have no idea of what is about to hit us from Tesla. Musk has stated that Tesla will begin with low production of a generally useful humanoid robot for internal use in 2025, followed by high production for external companies in 2026. This suggests a phased approach, starting with a modest rollout to refine the technology within Tesla's own operation before scaling up for broader markets. And Musk has described an aggressive ramp-up beyond 2025. He has suggested that Tesla aims for 50 to 100,000 units next year, followed by a potential tenfold increase, so 500,000 to 1 million units in 2027. And the biggest number in 2030 I have heard Elon mention is 1 million units per year in production. And of course, wanting to scale to 100 million robots long term. So if we should look at Tesla's Optimus valuation and not look at CERN Basher that we have seen and used many times before, but let's choose another analyst like Chris Camillo that in January 2024 made a big dive into Tesla's Optimus valuation and potential. So let's dive into the potential valuation of Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot division by 2030 based on the projection inspired by Chris Camillo's analysis. Chris originally estimated a $10 trillion valuation with just 1.5 million robots on the street using a PE ratio of 80. Let's just break down his assumption and explore different scenarios. So Chris assumes each Optimus robot generate $94,000 in annual revenue by leasing, not selling, but leasing the robot at $16.8 per hour for 16 hours a day, 350 days a year. And he gives it a lifespan of only 6 years and the cost for Tesla about $30,000 to build. So I personally think it will be less than $30,000 for Tesla and will live longer than 6 years. But let's just stick with Chris's assumptions here. So after accounting for a $5,000 per year in production cost over the 6 year and $5,000 in annual maintenance as Chris is assuming, each robot yield $84,000 in operating income per year. With 1.5 million robots, that scales to $126 billion in operating income. Applying a PE ratio of 80, Chris arrives at a $10 trillion valuation for the Optimus division. But what if we adjust the numbers of the robot and the PE ratio? Let's explore 3 scenarios. Firstly, if Tesla deployed only 1 million robots by 2030 and the market assigned a more conservative PE ratio of 68 closer to Tesla's historical average, the operating income would be $84 billion. Multiplying by a PE of 68, the valuation drops to $5.7 trillion. This shows the impact of a smaller scale and less optimistic market outlook, but still, this would basically be the worst case scenario. $5.7 trillion just on one of Tesla's products. But if Tesla is aiming for at least 500,000 in 2027, if they didn't ramp up at all, that would leave us with at least 2 million units in 2030. So if we increase to 2 million robots while keeping the PE ratio at Chris's 80, the operating income rises to $168 billion. At a PE ratio of 80, the valuation jumps to $13.4 trillion, highlighting a significant growth potential as product scale, and it will only scale from 2030 and onwards. But if Tesla hit at least 500,000 in 2027 and then scale to 1 million in 2030, as Elon has mentioned, we will hit something like 3 million robots in 2030. So the third scenario with 3 million robots and the same PE ratio of 80 as Chris is using, the operating income reaches $252 billion. This results in a staggering $20 trillion valuation, demonstrating how transformative Optimus could be if Tesla achieved such an ambitious scale. So let's just say they missed their target. So this would not happen before 2035. Does that really matter if you hold your Tesla stock for the next 10 to 20 years? Tesla could hit $20 trillion valuation within the next 10 years, just on their humanoid robot business alone. These scenarios from $5.7 trillion with 1 million robot and a PE of 68 to $20 trillion with 3 million robot and a PE of 80 illustrate the range of possibility here for Tesla's humanoid robot division. While Chris' assumptions are maybe optimistic or too conservative, we don't know, they underscore the massive potential of Optimus to reshape the labor market and drive Tesla's value to new highs price by 2030. And that is all without any car sales, without any cybercaps, without any mega packs, without any power walls, without any other business Tesla is in but the humanoid robot. And with the speed we have seen over the last 5 years in AI and robotic progress, that only seems to be speeding up. I find it highly unlikely that we will not see one of these scenarios or somewhere in between play out. Tesla's valuation could skyrocket to $5 to $20 trillion just for Optimus alone. So, like I said in the beginning, the last 5 years lit the fuse, not just for AI and robotics, but for Tesla as well. The next 5 years, Tesla might just be helping reshape what it means to be human and what kind of limits a company's valuation can reach. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.